So the next topic we have to discuss is the aprons. So it is the parking space for aircraft. The area that is reserved for parking of aircrafts is known as apron. So it is the paved area for parking of aircraft where loading and unloading of passengers and cargo will be taking place. So the whole area is apron, and in that itself you will be dividing areas specifically for different aircraft, so that each area, position is known as gate position. That means in a large area it will be an apron, and then you can allot spaces for suppose 10 aircraft. That means the space for one aircraft is known as gate position. So in an apron you can provide 10, 20 like that, any number of gate positions. So the factors affecting the size of an apron are gate position, number of gates, and aircraft parking system. So the first factor is gate position. So as we have already said, it is used to denote aircraft parking space. So it is the parking space for one aircraft, and the size of the gate position will be depending upon what is the size of aircraft and what is the type of parking. So the gate position will be depending upon two factors: size of the aircraft and type of parking or aircraft parking configuration. So we already know the size of the aircraft. It means we are having length of the aircraft, we are having tail width, wingspan, etc. So those things will be affecting what is the area that is to be reserved for each aircraft. If you are having large aircrafts, you have to provide a larger area as gate position. So in an apron, the number of gate positions will be less. So that is one factor, the size of the aircraft. So for bigger aircrafts, you have to provide a larger area. Next is type of parking or aircraft parking configuration. So here we are dealing with how one aircraft is parked. So mainly there are five types of parking for each aircraft, that is nose in, angled nose in, nose out, angled nose out, and parallel. So usually in an apron area, all the aircrafts will be parked in a similar manner. So nose in parking means the nose of the aircraft will be pointed towards the terminal building. So that is known as nose in parking. Then angled nose in parking means the nose will be inclined to the terminal building. It will not be perpendicular, it will be at some angles, and here nose will be pointing towards the terminal building. Next is nose out parking. Nose out parking will be like this: the nose will be coming here and tail to this end, that is no tail will be coming adjacent to the terminal building. So that is nose out parking. And this is angled nose out parking, that is it will be parking at some angle, nose out but at some angle, not at 90-degree with terminal building. Then parallel parking means this is our terminal building, so the aircraft will be parking parallel to the terminal building. So these are the different airport or aircraft parking configuration. So depending upon that also, this size of the gate will be varying. So the size required by each of these will be different. So based on that also you have to adjust the gate position. So these are the two factors that will be affecting the gate position. So here you can see the aircraft can be parked in different ways. This is nose in parking. So like that, this is angled nose. If it is coming here, it will be angled nose in. So like that it can be parked. Next is number of gates. So the number of gates, that is what is the number of if you are taking the total apron area, the size will be depending upon how many number of gates are there and what is the size of each gate. So the number of gates, it will be depending upon mainly two factors, that is estimated peak hour volume and gate occupancy time or ramp time. So estimated peak hour volume means it is the maximum number of aircraft that has to be handled by the airport during the design hour. So for a balanced airport design, this volume, that is the peak hour volume, should not exceed the runway capacity, and whatever be the aircraft that is coming to that airport, it should be parked at the apron space. So necessary gate positions should be provided. So number of gates will be depending upon estimated peak hour volume, and also it will be depending upon gate occupancy time or ramp time. time. So gate occupancy time means once the aircraft has come to the parking space, it will be parked at the gate position. So it can be used by the aircraft by one aircraft for some time. So it will be generally ranging from 40 to 60 minutes. So if it is occupied by the aircraft only for 40 minutes means if the aircraft will be clearing that gate position easily, then it can be used by another one. So you can reduce the number of gates. So that is the advantage. So if ram time is less or gate occupancy time is less, you can reduce the number of gates. So generally it will be depending upon size of aircraft. So because the loading and unloading will be taking more time if the size of the aircraft is more. So that is the main problem. So next is the gate capacity analysis. So the gate time that will be demanded by the aircraft should be always less than the gate time that is supplied. That is, one if an aircraft requires 60 minutes, you should provide 60 minutes time. So you have to analyze what is the gate capacity. So for the formula for calculating the gate capacity is G is equal to CT by U, where G is the number of gates, C is the estimated peak hour volume, T is the average gate occupancy time, and U is the gate utilization factor. So by using this equation, you can calculate what is the number of gates that will be required, or you can calculate whether the given number of gates is sufficient for calculate for that particular demand. So that can be also used. So by using this equation, you can find out what is the number of gates that is required. So that is the second factor. So number of gates and size of we have discussed two factors: gate position, that is it will be depending upon size of aircraft, and type of parking or aircraft parking configuration. Then the second one is number of gates, so it will be depending upon estimated peak hour volume and the what is the ram time. Next is aircraft parking system. So aircraft parking system means it will be it depends it will be showing us how the aircraft is parked in the apron. That is not regarding one aircraft, it is regarding the how all the aircrafts are parked in an apron, the pattern in which the aircrafts are parked in an apron. So aircraft parking system can be again classified into four types: frontal or linear system, then open apron or transporter system, peer or finger system, and satellite system. So in the case of frontal system, so if you are having a terminal building like this, you will be having a single row of gate positions and the aircrafts will be arranged like this. It can be in any manner, the individual aircraft can be parked, either all these can be nose in, nose out, like that, but all are parked in a single row like this. So the gate positions are arranged like this. Okay, so it will be adjacent to terminal building like this, can be linear or curvilinear. So it is frontal system. Then open apron system means adjacent to terminal building you will be providing like this gate position. So this whole area is our apron. So these are our gate position. Gate positions can be denoted by circles like this. So here you are providing 9 gates like this. So in this whole apron. So if you are providing a number of rows for parking of aircraft like this, then it is known as open apron system. Next is peer system. Peer and finger system. Peer or finger system means you will be having a terminal building like this. From there you will be having projections like this, and adjacent to that you will be having gate positions provided like this. So it can be either in any shape like Y, T. So in any shape it can be provided. So that is peer system. Next is satellite system. So satellite system is more advanced, but it's more complicated and more expensive. Here you will be having more walking distance. That is the main problem. So if you're having terminal building like this, you will be having a large apron area like this, and in that you can provide satellites like this. That means some small satellite stations can be provided like this, and from terminal building you will be providing connectors to these satellite stations. So Here these connectors are usually provided as underground tunnels. So the people who are coming at this particular terminal building, they have to travel through these connectors first. So they are generally provided underground, and they have to travel through these connectors to reach these satellites, and adjacent to these satellites aircrafts will be parked like this. So they have to walk this much distance, reach here, then they have to board the aircraft. So that is known as satellite system. So these are the four aircraft parking systems. So that is, these three are the factors that will be affecting size of apron. Okay, so gate position, number of gates, and what is the aircraft parking system. So you can see here, if it is satellite system, you require more space irrespective of number of gates. So like that, you can identify what is the size of apron required. So next is loading apron. It is used for denoting aprons that are used only for loading and unloading, and also for parking of aircraft. So it is also known as parking aprons, as we have already discussed. And the clearance of around 7.5 meter is provided between the adjacent parked aircrafts. Next is holding apron. So holding apron is the aprons that are provided adjacent to the runway. So it is the paved area which is provided adjacent to the ends of the runway in the case of busy airports. It is also known as run-up or warm-up pads. So it is used for parking the aircraft for a short period of time just before the takeoff period. So here you can see, this is our taxiway, this is our runway. So the aircraft has to come through this taxiway and reach here for taking off. So it is used only, this holding apron is used only by aircraft that are used for that are waiting for taking off. So the aircraft can reach here, they can park here. If any urgent maintenance is there, it can be done, and they can wait here for taking off. So here it will not be entering the runway at 90 degrees, it will be entering at some angle like this. So you can provide 3 or 4 spaces like this depending upon the necessity, and you can the aircraft can wait here before taking off. Also, the width of the holding apron should be such that if any aircraft is coming through this way for taking off, it should be able to bypass this facility. So some with extra width should be provided here, so that in some cases other aircraft can bypass this facility. So this area is known as holding apron. So while we are designing the holding apron, the configuration should be such that it should be sufficient for accommodating 3 to 4 aircraft, and the entry should be at angles less than 90 degree, and it should provide facility to bypass, and it can be also used as holding bay during busy period. That is, the aircraft can wait for some more time, and it should be located at runway, and it should meet peak hour demands. So these are the requirements of a holding apron. So these are the different types of aprons and the size, the factors that will be affecting the size of parking aprons. Okay, thank you.